Hello, I'm your host, Mr. Tola Park, here with another riveting tale of hold on, let me fix this. A riveting tale of a legendary city that was lost to the sands of time in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm, of course, talking about the legendary city of Atlantis. Chapter 1, A Paradise Lost. Thousands of years after it supposedly sank into the cold and gloomy depths of the Atlantic Ocean, the island continent of Atlantis lived on as one of history's most tantalizing puzzles. Indeed, such a place existed. Atlantis was a civilization unique before or since, yet its chronicles say that it vanished in little more than a single day, leaving not a trace behind. The oldest and fulfillest surviving account of the greatest island's rise and fall was provided by the Greek philosopher Plato, and in the 4th century BC. According to Plato's description illustrated at the loft and on the pages of 16 through 17, Atlantis was a land that where skilled agriculturated sweet-scented orchard, and where animals, including a very large stock of elephants, flourished within its self-city, where innumerable mansions, outdone in grandeur only by the royal palace and by the nearby temple, rise to honor Poseidon, but neither gold or by the nearby temple raised to honor Poseidon, but neither gold nor glory could save the Atlanteans from themselves. The growing materialism mightly offend the gods, wrote Plato, and the whole civilization was condemned to a swift and speculated end. Atlantis has often been linked with other places of mystery, among them the pyramids of Egypt and the stone slab Stonehenge. Unlike those brooding monuments, however, the land that Plato portrayed is no more tangible than memories or dreams. But many people believe that the drowned country's wealth and silver, copper, and gold still glimmer for the finding of the ocean floor. Perhaps one day they say some bold salvager may even bring to light Atlantis' fabled golden tablets graved with the laws of earthly paradise. And as you can see here from this picture, that this pressed for balmy climate and surrounded by wild animals that have nothing to fear from humans, Atlantis pursue a life of civilized leisure among the gardens of great mansion. As you can see, this is the golden. Chief among the many splendors of Plato's Atlantis was sprawling palace compound built on lower hill in the center of the capital, and riding by 3 canals. The structure that made up the royal residence onto courtyard containing the Temple of Poseidon. The complex was exceeded by Atlas, oldest son Poseidon and the first king of Atlantis. But the sovereigns who succeeded Atlantis on the throne were hardly content to leave the locals of their power as they found. Sorry, I lost my. They found it, as each king received it from predecessor. Plato wrote, he added to adornment and did all he could to surpass the king before him, until finally they made of it adobe. I don't know if I'm amazing to behold for magnitude and beauty and of its workmanship. Visitors of the palace compound entered along a broad concord that crossed the three canals, passing through the portals that breached a wall of brass, a wall of tin, and an enormous wall of copper that sparkled like fire. Within the embrace of these gleaming barriers were residents of the oratory mansions of white and black and red stone quarried from the native rock. Everywhere stood grandeur almost beyond the power of words describe the wealth they possessed, wrote Plato of the Atlantean monarchs, was so immense that like had never been seen before in any royal house, nor will ever easily be seen again. The spirit center of Atlantis was the Temple of Poseidon, a magnificent building that heart of the palace compound. Here the contents rulers met to hand down their laws. The temple was dazzling testimony to metalworkers' skills of the Atlanteans, eccentric within all the wall of gold. The exterior of the building was, according to Plato, coated with silver, was only the pinnacles of these they coated with gold. As to the interior, they were made of ceiling all of ivory, variegated with gold and silver, or clim, or copper as it's called. All the rest of the walls and pillars of the floors they covered with oaken. An immense golden figure of Poseidon, driven 6 winged steeds, dominated the temple center court. Stated of sea nymphs gleamed from every shadowed crevice. The High King of Atlantis and his 9 brothers, princes of the 9 other provinces, gathered every 5 or 6 years in this awe-inspiring form. After sacrificing a bull and making an offering to the gods, the dark-robed rulers gathered around the fading embers and passing judgment and inscribing them upon the golden tablet. Wisely governed, the people of Atlantis lived in harmony for many generations, wrote Plato, their hearts were true and always noble, and they showered gentlest joined with wisdom. As you can see, there's the statue of Poseidon, and here's the court depicted of the courtyard. Pretty clever. But then, however, some things don't last forever. As you can see, at the highest height of Atlantis' glory, 9,200 years before Plato's birth, the imperial island could claim domain over the most of the Mediterranean. Then above all, declared Plato, they appeared to be superlatively fair and blessed, yet, he continued, the Atlanteans were filled with lawless ambitions and power. Limitless luxury had taken its toll. No longer did the Atlanteans value goodness above material. The potential of divinity within them was now becoming faint and weak. Through being oft times blended with a large measure of morality, Plato said the Atlanteans, unable to bear the burden of their possessions, had lost their virtue, and now they were passing armies to conquer Athens, parts east. But Zeus, leader of the gods, delivered a blow of his own. A punishment was unimaginably total. There occurred portentous earthquakes and floods, Plato wrote, and one grievous day the night befell them, with the island of Atlantis was swallowed up by the sea and vanished. Plato doubted that any signs of the lost land would ever be found. The ocean at the spot, he wrote, has now become impassable and unsearchable. And there you have it. That's the story of Atlantis. However, I theorize, like many others, that Atlantis may be lost, but it's not forgotten. I theorize that it's hidden somewhere. I think the Atlanteans might have survived, and they're living on the ocean floor. And I mean, there are lots of talks about this. Atlantis, the Lost Empire, Aquaman, and a bunch of other films. I mean, Atlantis has been the talk of many, many people. And here is a design of what Atlantis might have looked like. Again, the theories have changed from time to time, and there's a lot to debate, and me, one day, I hope to be one of the men who finds this great city and bring back its wonder and joys to the world. And again, I hope you enjoyed the surveying tale and my theory. And please like, and subscribe to my channel. This is your host, Vets of Twilight Box, signing off.